Hello, it's Sunday, which means the first thing I did today was fill up my pills. This is what 1 week's worth of pills looks like. So these are the pills I take every day, and I've laid them out in the order that I take them. So right away when I wake up in the morning at 8 a.m., I take these first two pills. The methylphenidate, which is a stimulant med for my ADHD, and then the buspirone, which is an anxiety med. It's a light sedative, basically. And so I take these both at 8 a.m. The buspirone I take 4 times a day. So the next dose is at noon, and then at 4 p.m. I take 1.5, and at 8 p.m. I take another 1.5. Then at bedtime I take the rest of these. This is pantoprazole, which is a acid reflux medication. I have chronic GERD, so I have to have acid reflux meds every day. This one is a vitamin D. I live in Minnesota. There is not a lot of sunlight here, and I'm pretty much everybody has a vitamin D deficiency in Minnesota. So I take a supplement. This is a birth control pill. Even though I haven't had sex in 3 years, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and my cycles are really irregular. So if I am not on birth control pill, my hormones are a nightmare. So I actually count this as a mental health drug. And then these three right here are trazodone. And these are depression medications, and I take those before I go to sleep. And they actually help sedate you as well, so it helps me sleep. And then these two down here, these are optional drugs I can take during the day. These are as-needed drugs. This is a Xanax, and this is a sucralfate, which is, so you know what a Xanax is, right? It's for if I'm feeling very anxious and the low level of buspirone I have in my system at all times just isn't helping. So this is like an anxiety rescue drug. And then this is a sucralfate, which is a another GERD drug. This is a rescue antacid, basically. Now it should go without saying, but I'll say it anyway. All of those drugs have been prescribed to me by a doctor, and I am under an obnoxious amount of medical supervision. So don't worry about it. I meet with my psychiatrist regularly. All of those drugs, no refills on any of them, except the birth control, I guess. But yeah, no refills. I have to get doctor approval every time. They're monitoring how much I'm taking, how fast I'm taking them by the refills. And I'm sure that they do that for everyone, but like, especially for me as a recovering addict, it is important that, you know, I'm not suddenly off the rails and requesting a refill of my Xanax after a week or something. So, well, I took my stimulant meds this morning, and so I need to use this concentration to do something I've been meaning to do for weeks, which is my journal review. I need to go through, read my journals for the past probably month at this point, and come up with an idea of how to move forward, what themes have I been struggling with, etc. And I'm probably going to have to rewatch some of my videos. Honestly, the video thing over the past month has largely supplanted my actual personal journaling, which is not great, honestly, because I can be very straightforward in these videos. I don't think that I'm a person who lives with a lot of shame. I can just tell you what I'm thinking, but there are some things that I wouldn't share publicly, believe it or not. And those things still need to be expressed. And so, yeah, I'm gonna just try and have a long talk with myself right now while I am very focused. Stalker. Well, it took 3 hours, but I finished with my analysis, and I really did this one right. So what I did was, it turns out I hadn't done an analysis since like the day before VLOGMAS or something. And so I went through and I wrote a small summary and a theme, you know, any themes that I'm dealing with for every day between November 27th until yesterday. So that's like 20 different days, 20 plus days that I wrote a little summary and like what I was thinking about that day. Then I went through and I took all of those entries and I made a list of 6 major themes that I have been working on over the past month or so, and I think it's really interesting, so I want to share that with you. So the first theme is identity in late recovery. Identity in late recovery. Spending less time upset and more time coping. Is there anything else for me in this life aside from identifying my emotions and trying to cope with them? Because if I actually fix this problem, I'm going to have to find something else to fill that time. And I want it to be meaningful. So what is that? The second major theme is coping skills to deal with negative emotions. So I've been identifying all of, I'll come out of EMDR sessions, I'll have problems with my body dysmorphia, I will get triggered, my PTSD, and I will have physical discomfort that like triggers these negative emotions inside of me. And what I've been doing mostly is making to-do lists with like step by step, what do I need to do now to improve my mood, to improve my just my living situation, to get out of this negative state. And I've also been trying to follow healthy habits for a solid daily foundation so that when I do encounter these problems, I'm just already kind of set to deal with them. And another thing, just identifying and then feeling the negative emotions. This is a big theme with me too. You have to be able to feel something in order to heal it. As the Cocteau twins say, you can't heal what you can't feel. The third major theme is personal acceptance of my fat body. So I am fat and I have an eating disorder and body dysmorphic disorder, and I've just been trying to be cool with being fat, which is harder than it seems. So some things I've been doing, I've been buying new clothes. I've been calling myself fat as a neutral descriptor. And just not being ashamed to do that. And then I've actually publicly showed my body, including things that I'm uncomfortable with, and talking about how I feel about being fat. And I've been changing the way I eat. I've been focusing on eating healthy instead of just counting calories. I'm trying to focus on my wellness, because being fat is not the problem. The problem is that I have bad nutrition, I have an unhealthy relationship with food, I am easily overstimulated. I mean, all of these things. And being fat is just a symptom of that. And so I've been trying just not to beat myself up for it and just accept it for what it is. So the fourth major theme is tuning in versus zoning out. This is a continuous problem I have, where I want to be present in my life, but instead I am losing myself in distraction. I have ADHD, so this may be related, I'm assuming, but so some things that I've been working on are focusing at work by avoiding distractions, specifically social media. I'm trying to, while I'm doing something, while I am working, I want to be working. I don't want to have my brain halfway in Twitter and halfway in what I'm doing. And then I've also noticed that a red flag for me is when I'm not working, if I am stuck on my phone, if I am stuck playing a game, if I'm stuck in a YouTube rabbit hole, it's because I'm usually avoiding something. I'm avoiding something that either I am supposed to do but I feel uncomfortable with, or I'm avoiding a feeling that I'm having, and I'm just tuning out of my life instead of actually being present and dealing with those things. But at the same time, I do have a need for relaxation and for taking time to just to not push myself 24 hours a day to be productive. I have limits, and I'm trying to find a balance there. Okay, the fifth major theme is sexual and romantic frustration. I'm frustrated by this typo right here. Romantic frustration. So I haven't had sex in 3 years, and I have this natural, totally healthy desire for sexual partners. and I guess for romantic connection, although honestly sex is more on my mind these days. But I am too afraid to put myself out there and meet people, and it's something that I'm really struggling with. But the reasons that I'm afraid to do this are I am still processing previous abusive relationships, previous disrespect. I have issues with my body. I don't feel desirable. I feel, I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but I feel like a lot of times that I look like a monster, that I look deformed, that no one could possibly find me sexually appealing, that anyone who sees me will have an immediate, strong disgust reaction to the way that I look. And that's the body dysmorphia talking, but that is a very real thing that's happening inside of my head. And also I'm dealing with the majority of my sexual life as an adult have been while I was in, well, the entirety of my sexual life as an adult, I should say, has been when I was in active addiction. And I gambled with my health, with my safety. I didn't listen to my emotions. I mean, I damaged my sexual relationship with myself due to emotional problems and alcoholism. And then finally, my sixth theme is physical well-being. I have difficulty showing up for myself as a physical being because for some reason I am afraid of my own body and my physical sensations. I mean, I know that with PTSD it breaks the mind-body connection, and there's a reason for that, but basically I am not in tune with my physical sensations. I do not take action when I need help physically. I will just sit with physical discomfort rather than doing anything about it. I basically never exercise. It's something that my theme this week was I'm supposed to exercise, but I didn't do it. And so I don't exercise, and I have had GERD problems for weeks. I have pain in my neck and shoulders, and I don't address these things. I just let them keep happening. So this week I've decided that I am going to focus on my physical well-being. To me, that feels like, in recovery there's this saying, shoot the gator closest to the boat. And I feel like that's the gator closest to the boat right now. This sour stomach thing that I've been dealing with my GERD is just constantly putting me in a low mood. They say that your gut health has a lot to do with your mental health, and I believe that, especially if it's causing you a low level of discomfort all day long. And so my theme for this week, for the coming week, is neutralizer, meaning that I'm going to neutralize the acid in my stomach with a GERD healthy diet, meaning lots of bland food, no chocolate, no caffeine, no carbonated drinks, no tomatoes, no spicy foods, no garlic, like lots of things like that. And to try and just get my stomach back to normal. I mean, Jesus Christ. And then I'm also going to be checking in with myself to check on my physical body, how I'm doing, and if I need to take some sort of corrective action. And then also I am rededicating myself to trying to do 150 minutes of exercise every week. I know that, or at least this week. Let's say this week. That was my theme last week. I got 20 minutes of exercise the entire week. So rededicating myself to that. And yeah, I feel really good about this list that I made. I feel like that really is to a T what it is that I'm all about right now. My first acid neutralizing drink is this berry smoothie, which is just a cup of blueberries, a banana, and some almond milk. Hear that? Third time this month that the building fire alarms have gone off because people in this building are drunkards and like to start cooking food and then, I don't know, pass out or something, and then the entire building has to deal with it. Oh my god. Binks, I'm glad you're okay. He gets freaked out by the noise. This is already the longest video in all of VLOGMAS, so I'm gonna let y'all go for the day. and I will see you tomorrow as I begin to work on my physical well-being. Bye!